Good morning, good morning, good morning, Zambia, and welcome to another exciting edition of the Light TV Breakfast Show. And we're delighted that you're able to join us this morning. My name is Joe, and I'm joined by
Shepard Mulenga.
Indeed,
Yes.
What a beautiful day it is. Have you noticed that the weather keeps fluctuating, hot, cold? Like right now, it's pretty chilly. I'm sure you were shivering in your blankets this early morning.
Yes, I was shivering even the time I was going to bath. I was like, can't I just dress up like this?
Exactly.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Light TV, our breakfast show. Today, I am actually Shepard Mulenga. Yes, thank you for choosing Light TV to start your day. We have a very informative and engaging program lined up for you today.
And indeed, today we are looking at nutrition.
Yes.
What an interesting topic, because it's something that we take for granted, where we can just eat anything we feel like, we snack and do all kinds of things. But I think it's something we need to pay attention to.
Yes, it's something we need to pay attention to, because health body equals to health mind. Just imagine if you are not, you don't have a health body, even your life will not be health. So health body equals to health life and also health mind.
Indeed.
Yes.
So in your opinion, what's the role of good nutrition? What do you feel it is? And
yeah, for me, nutritions, I feel like they are very much important, especially as a human being. You know, if you don't have a lot of nutritions, you actually suffer to a lot of diseases. So when you have a balanced meal, balanced diet, which people say, you actually be healthy in everything that you are doing. So for me, nutrition is very cardinal, it's very imperative for us to make sure that we have good food even as we are eating. It should be balanced, should not just be everything that we are eating the same thing. No, it should be variety. You know, in Africa you find that people when they are eating is just kawari. They have
3 lamps, 3-4 lamps in the morning.
In the morning, in the afternoon, and even when they're about to sleep. Some of them even in the midnight. At midnight they wake up, they will still want to eat. So you see, so it's not really healthy, especially having one specific meal. At least you should have variety, because there are nutritions in it. Yes,
exactly.
And there are vitamins in it. So at least when you have different, it will really help, because
yes, because I feel we also need to pay attention to the way we eat it. Like maybe sometimes we cut down on the lamps of Nshima, like maybe 1 or 2 lamps, then at least lots of veggies, maybe protein, a sizable amount of protein, so that we have a balanced diet. Because we forget that when we are eating Nshima breakfast, lunch, supper, there's also sugar accumulating, particularly breakfast.
Yes, what you have said is true. I think looking at our own culture, it could be maybe, we can say it's because when we look at our even where we are coming from long time ago, it could be also our culture or history, or what we can say maybe poverty. You'll find that long time ago people eat. Have you ever eaten cassava nshima?
I have. It's delicious. It's actually delicious. Very delicious.
Yes. So you'll find that in the long time ago, people will actually have a lot of food. For example, cassava. You eat a lot of cassava. The reason why people used to eat a lot of cassava, maybe in the morning, you find that they'll eat a lot of them. Maybe it's big pot they'll eat. The next time they'll eat, maybe it's in the evening. So you find that they'll eat one specific food. It could be because of they didn't have a lot of funds for them to be able to buy the food that they need to eat.
Yes, and way back there was also millet. In fact, that's our original staple: millet, sorghum, even before maize. Millet, yes, and in fact, very important, cassava, millet. Those were. Actually, those have been our staples even before maize, and they also have a lot of nutritional benefits, especially even eaten in the right proportion.
Yes, true. Me, I come from cassava, so we have survived on cassava. Which parts do you come from, like in Zambia? Where are you from originating?
Mbala, actually.
Mbala.
So it's also similar millet.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's true. Yes. Well, today we shall also reflect on World Food Safety Day, which was actually commemorated on the 7th of June, and we'll also discuss why safe food is essential for health living.
Indeed, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yes, and since the world recently commemorated World Environment Day, on 5th June, we will also explore how our environment affects food and nutrition, food production and nutrition. So please join the conversation by calling the numbers appearing on your screen and tell us what healthy eating means to you. Tell us what it's all about and how you feel you can improve on your eating habits and what you can do to just further enhance your healthy living.
Yes, and please tell us what do you love having for breakfast?
Exactly.
I know some of you are watching us right now. You're having a breakfast. I don't know. Maybe you love tea. Which one do you love, tea or coffee?
Tea.
You prefer tea?
Yes, I'm a tea person. I think it just runs in the family because my late mom enjoyed tea and my dad loved tea, and we just generally love tea as a family. And in fact, it was a system like where I would have, of course, the usual bread in the morning, like shima for lunch, and shima or rice, and then for supper we'd just have tea and bread. We'd just have sandwiches and green tea, like just to wash out and maybe all the impurities, because green tea really helps. That's what we'd eat in the evening. That's what we'd have in the evening. We'd drink tea and would eat sandwiches.
Okay,
yes.
So you love green tea.
Yes.
Okay.
Especially at night.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Okay, for me, I love coffee. It's both, even tea, but I love white tea. Yes, but mostly it's coffee. Yes.
Okay, a coffee person, so and you know, yes. Coffee without sugar, right?
No. I can't survive. Coffee with sugar. More sugar, in fact.
So you would love an espresso or cappuccino, right? Or like where you add milk and all that stuff, cream, like with lots of sugar.
Yes, with a lot of sugar, yes. I love sugar.
Okay, wow.
Yes. So please, viewers, tell us what you are having, what you love actually having for breakfast this morning. Would love to know. You can comment. Actually, if you are watching us live on Topstar, you can actually phone in the lines that are actually scrolling on the screen. If you are watching us on Facebook or you are watching us on YouTube or TikTok, you can actually comment in the section, and we'll be more glad to hear from you, even as we are having a very actually important conversation that we are talking about today. We are talking about your health. We are talking about World Food Day, how you can have a proper meal. Why is it important for us to have a balanced diet? So please, you can comment, tell us what you love eating and what you really love eating, especially in the morning or during the day.
Indeed. So please just continue to talk to us. Like, what comes to your mind when you hear the word nutrition? What comes to your mind? Is it basically eating balanced meals, healthy growth and development, disease prevention, energy for work and school? What comes to mind? Just tell us what comes to mind when you think of good nutrition.
Yes. Mostly what comes to mind, like for me, is when we talk about nutrition, is also eating balanced meals.
Exactly.
Yes, eating balanced meal, like we mentioned. You don't have to be eating one meal. You are just sticking to the same meal. Even when we are eating, or you love shima. There are people who love shima. At least you change relish. You don't just eat chicken, T-bone.
Exactly.
At least you mixed up. So yes. So we need actually to it's eating balanced meal. Also health growth and development. Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Indeed. And of course, when we look at health, maybe according to our Zambian culture, of course, we enjoy foods like shima, chikanda, fisashi, kapenta, beans, sweet potatoes, cassava, groundnuts, fresh vegetables, village chicken. These are also actually some of the healthy foods in Zambia, like not just nshima, but then we actually have other healthy foods which we can incorporate with nshima, like you've been mentioning. It's not just nshima with a particular dish, maybe just chicken, but actually you can interchange. You have kapenta, you have chicken, the other day you have beef, the other day you have fish. We eat and interchange with the nshima and this and that. Nshima with chicken chicken, shima with fish, with beef, even with chunks. Of course, some people feel, chunks, no. But actually, they're healthy.
They are healthy, yes. They are healthy, yes. Even the one you mentioned, chikanda, or ifisash.
Yes.
Yes, ifisash is also nice because it's nice, yes, and it's also healthy.
Exactly.
Yeah, sure.
Very. So, and the question we ask is, are we eating these foods in a balanced and healthy way, or are we just eating them anyhow whenever we feel like, maybe once during the day you just get your shima, maybe 4 or 5 lamps, and maybe you just put gravy, but there's no other nutrition that you're adding to it.
Yeah, it's true. Yes, so, and we do also have a question for you, even as we are discussing, is that what food do you eat most often in your home? What food do you most eat often in your home? You'll find that most people there, what they eat most is in shima. Like we mentioned, it's our staple food here in Zambia. You find that it's shima, vegetable, and mostly you know that vegetable doesn't miss.
No, it doesn't.
When you're eating shima, it has to make sure that vegetable is actually there. And also we see that mostly here in Zambia they love shima with chicken.
Yes. Chicken is basically a staple here because everyone will always talk, chicken. We love it so much, but of course we can interchange.
Yes. Mostly in Zambia we see that people love chicken and also rice and beans.
Yes, rice, beans, and even sweet potatoes.
Yes, even sweet potatoes. Yeah, me, I'm a fan actually of sweet potatoes.
Me too, especially the roasted type. I do love boiled, but then I also love the roasted type.
Oh, you fries.
Yes, fries. And then also putting them, there's that system where you put them under the brazier and then they start roasting. I also love that method.
Oh,
they come out so nice and like even crunchy. You can even eat it with the skin, like with the, after of course you've washed them very well, and then you just put them under the brazier and then they are roasting, slowly roasting, and when you chew them, there's that crunch. I love that crunchy taste, and it's just so appetizing.
Yes, and by the way, you know, I love you. I love the way you cook. I remember the other time you invited me for lunch. You're a chef.
I just try.
I know you know how to cook. So sweet potato, that one is very nice.
Indeed.
Yes, sure. Yes. Do you think most Zambians are actually? Do you think Zambians are eating healthy food today than before?
Well, for me, it's a yes and a no. Of course, yes, we are eating our regular and shima, but then there's a concern, like especially for breakfast. That's processed meal. I think it's better for people to be eating roller or millet and shima or cassava and shima because the nutrients are still basically there. But yes, people are now aware of food, that we need to eat nutritious food. But I think, like we mentioned earlier, it's the way we eat it. I think that's what sometimes brings confusion, but of course people know more about nutrition, so it's a yes and a no. Yes, there are fast foods that have become more common because of our lifestyle.
Yes. I wanted to speak of the fast food. Yes, mostly Zambians today we are still eating healthy food. Yes, that's very much true. Yes, but also a no, like you have mentioned. Yes, because of fast food, you find that people maybe they are rushing. You see people just pass through Hungry Lion. You know, there are people who just eat Hungry Lion throughout, like they will just eat Hungry Lion. They don't even have time to cook from home because they are busy, they are doing that. So you find that a person now will not even have a proper meal for them to actually eat, because if you are eating, at least you must have time where you cook for yourself. You're home, you prepare you put all the ingredients, everything the way you want it, like the way you cook, delicious and everything, you spice it up. So most people now, they tend to be eating just fast food. But when we look at a long time ago, you'll find that people will be eating nice food. You know that here in Africa, that's why you find that we are in Africa, there used not to be so much diseases like we are having today.
Exactly.
Yes, because we used to eat those nice food. People call them traditional food, but they are even healthy than this fast food which have just come now, where people, they just want Hungry Lion.
It's true.
They just want Hungry Lion, especially those people who are working. You find that during lunchtime, them is just Hungry Lion. Lion, it's just KFC,
Exactly.
it's pizza, you see.
Yes.
But
yes, because of our busy schedule sometimes. Imagine maybe your day starts even at 5, at 6, maybe you are required to be at the office by 7. Sometimes you won't even have time to make proper breakfast. So maybe you just dash by a fast food. Because fast food restaurants where they also produce where they also make breakfast. So you just get your breakfast, then during lunch, dash by the same place, get your lunch. So again, the busy schedule also contributes. Otherwise, I feel most people would have loved to like sit down and prepare a lovely meal. But imagine you're the CEO of a company, or maybe you have a very big position and you just have to be at the office constantly. So again, fast foods are the best option, unfortunately.
Yes, they are the best options, unfortunately. But the people just have to find a way of how they can have their own time.
Because health matters.
Health matters. Yes, you may be lashing for the work, the same work you are going to work. If your health is not okay, like we have said that, if your health is not okay, you can't have a healthy life.
Exactly.
So it's very much important, even as we are lashing for work, whatever that we are doing. Let's make sure that we have a balanced meal.
Exactly. Yes. And we even ask, like, what healthy foods should people include in their meals? What do we feel people can be including in their meals?
Mostly, I think what people should include in more in their meals, also fruits can do.
Definitely.
Yes, fruits. There are a lot of vitamin C there, so people really need to be eating a lot of fruits. Even as we are eating a lot of vegetables here, we know most of the vegetables we have is rape. Chinese cabbage. Yes, all those things are very much a healthy food that we can actually be eating. Yes,
and of course beans, fish, groundnuts. These are other things we need to constantly include in our diets. I think fish, because of the healthy omega oils, proteins, and healthy fats and healthy omega oils that fish carry, very important for our internal development in our bodies.
Yes, very much important. You know, you find that even, for example, here, you'll find that a lot of people don't eat a lot of fruits. You know that,
It's true.
It's maybe even a week can pass.
Even a month, actually. You haven't even picked a fruit, an apple, or anything. You haven't picked any fruit in about a month, and life just goes on. And sometimes we don't even feel concerned. We don't even include it in our budgets, because when we are budgeting for food, it's usually chicken, it's usually beef, and sometimes fish. But we hardly include fruits in our diet, and we think we need to be including fruits in our diets.
Yes, it's very much important for us to be including food. It's very much imperative, because fruits are very cardinal. So that we can be eating a lot of fruits, because fruits will help us. For example, carrots will help us with our eyes. How to see vitamin C. Orange will help us with our skin and everything. So it's very much important for us to be including our fruits.
Indeed, yes. So when we look at nutrition, it's not really about expensive food, and I think it's about making wise choices, because sometimes we always go even for the processed beef because it tastes nice when you cook it really well, but sometimes we can also go for cheaper options, because we are just from saying it's not about expensive food, it's not about always having a fancy diet, but I think we also need to look at the way we prepare our food, and where we can make it more colorful, and where we can spice it up, because there are certain ways you can even cook chunks, carpenter, where it even looks appetizing, because studies show like that food actually, when food is prepared in an appetizing way, people actually tend to enjoy the food. But if it's cooked in a regular way, sometimes you even just feel lazy to eat it.
You lose appetite.
The same food, carpenter. I also ate it yesterday or the other week. There's just, you just fry it or you just boil it, and it's the same way, and it becomes mundane and boring. But when you spice it up, you can actually enjoy it, even if it's not a very expensive thing.
Yes, what you have said is very much true. So I have a question for the viewers. What do you think should do? For example, schools have actually opened and children are going to school, and parents normally put a packed lunch. Should children themselves decide what should be put in their packed lunch, or should just parents decide and say, no, you have this?
I think parents are well vested and they have knowledge, of course, passed down from grandparents and great-grandparents, and knowledge passed down on what foods are nutritious and on which foods are nutritious and what not. I think they can be packing for their children, even though the child will say, I don't like that, it doesn't taste nice, and they'll complain or throw a tantrum. But the parent, of course, should know that this is nutritious, this is healthy for my child, and the parent can do research to say, oh, avocados have these nutrients in them, and or cucumbers have these nutrients in them, and then you mix them up and even explain to the child that this is for your own benefit, even though it may not taste nice, it may not taste like we are used to a lot of sugar, a lot of salt. These things taste good in our mouths, but actually they tend to be very harmful. But as a parent who's done research, you can even explain to your child that I pack this because of the nutrients in this food, so that you can grow up into a healthy child and eventually a healthy adult.
Yeah, what you have said is very much true, yes, because we have seen a lot of children whereby they will cry for certain food.
Yes.
You know, mommy, I want jiggies, I want biscuits.
And even throw a tantrum, throwing themselves on the ground, rolling on the ground. Yes.
I hope you are not like that. Me, I was naughty. I used to cry a lot. Me. If my parents haven't given me what I want, I'll cry. I'll be scrolling on the ground. No, me, I want jiggies, I want sweets. Yeah, so it's very important, parents, to be able to decide for their children what actually they should carry, or especially the packed lunch, so that, because actually parents knows what is healthy for the children. Yes,
exactly.
So if they packed for them, sometimes some of them, like if I remember a long time when I was still in school, in my primary, when I was very young, my mother used to pack for me bread. You put bread and then they'll spread avocado.
Wow.
Yes, on it. At times it used to be rice. You carry it because those things, they used to be health and I used to eat. But you know, when you're still a child, you still want what you desire.
Yes, processed foods, jiggies, crisps, and the like. And you just want that food because it tastes nice. And you even see other kids, maybe the parents give them lunch money and they're buying this so-called nice food that you even feel bad. Why are you making me eat bread with avocado? It's not nice. Okay. And yet there are nutrients in that food.
Yes, yes. And also, Pastor Joe, have you ever eaten vingo at school, like when you during our school time? You know, vingobe maize, which is fried.
Yes, I have.
And yes, you put it in the water, and then in the morning you get it like that. You remember those?
Yes. And do you remember tutobomutwe? Those hard scores.
Yes. You're taking me now back to those days. We used to eat them, yeah? Viewers, those who are watching us, please tell us your history and tell us what you love eating, even as we are talking about nutrition today. We would love actually to hear from you the law of nutrition that actually help us, even for us to have a healthy mind comes as a result of us having a healthy food, having a balanced diet. Please, you can actually call the lines that are showing on the screen and also you can comment, and we'll be glad to hear from you. Right now, we'll just take a short break and we'll be back in the studio. Stay tuned.
Looking for a school that nurtures excellence, builds character, and inspires greatness? Well, look no further. Welcome to Christ Life School, where bright futures begin and dreams take flight. My name is Teacher Helen, and join me as I take you through why enrolling your child at Christ Life School is the best decision you can ever make as a parent. At Christ Life School, we believe that a great learning journey begins with the right environment. Our school provides a safe, clean, and peaceful atmosphere where every child feels valued, confident, and ready to succeed. It's more than just a school. It's a place where children feel at home, a great environment for a brighter tomorrow. Knowledge is power, and our well-stocked library is the heartbeat of academic excellence. With a wide variety of books, learners are encouraged to read, explore, and expand their minds beyond the classroom. Read more, discover more, become more. At Christ Life School, we don't just teach technology. Oh yes, we don't just teach technology. We put it directly into the hands of our learners. Every child has access to a computer, ensuring that no one is left behind in this fast-moving digital world. From basic skills to advanced learning, each learner gets hands-on experience that builds confidence, creativity, and innovation. One child, one computer, unlimited possibilities. And when it comes to science, we take learning beyond the textbook. Yes, we take learning outside the textbook. Our fully functional laboratories are designed to bring ideas to life through the experiments and discoveries aligned with the competence-based curriculum. Our labs promote critical thinking, problem solving, as well as practical skills that learners can use in the real lifetime. Here, learners don't just memorize, they explore, create, and innovate. Think it, test it, prove it. That's the Christ Life way. Yes, that's indeed the Christ Life way. What's school without a splash of fun? Our swimming pool provides learners with an exciting opportunity to develop swimming skills in a safe and supervised environment. Dive into excellence, swim into success, where our learners develop physically, socially, and emotionally. From football athletics, every child is given the chance to shine. Strong bodies, sharp minds, winning spirits. Our spacious classrooms are designed for comfort and effective learning. With enough room for interactions and creativity, our learners stay focused, engaged, and ready to achieve their best. Comfort meets concentration for excellence. At Christ Life School, we understand that learning requires energy. Yes, learning does require energy. That's why we provide nutritious and well-balanced meals to keep our learners healthy, active, and ready to learn. Healthy meals, healthy minds, bright futures. At Christ Life School, we don't just educate. We inspire, nurture, and prepare learners for a successful future, build confidence, unlock potential, and shape tomorrow's leaders. Christ Life School, where excellence meets purpose. Yes, I'll say that again. Christ Life School, where excellence meets purpose. Enroll today and give your child the gift of quality education, innovation, and success. As our motto goes, Christ Life School, hard work and excellence.
Christ Life School, where my heart is trained, hands, hope, all in His name.
Looking for a place where your children can grow in faith, make new friends, and have fun every week? Then join us for Sunday School. Every Sunday, our classrooms come alive with interactive Bible lessons, engaging activities, songs, and hands-on learning designed to help kids understand God's love in a real and joyful way. Whether your child is a curious preschooler, an energetic elementary student, or a thoughtful teen, there is a class just for them. Our caring teachers are dedicated to creating a safe, welcoming environment where every child can discover their purpose and build a strong foundation in Christ. So come be a part of the community that grows together, learns together, and celebrates Jesus together.
Welcome back to the Light TV Breakfast Show, even as we are looking at the role of good nutrition. We move on straight to our next segment, which is News Buzzing, where we talk about the stories that are making headlines around Zambia and, of course, out there internationally. Now, the government has called for increased technical cooperation, financial support, and capacity building to help developing countries expand apprenticeship opportunities, digital skills development, and workforce reskilling. Deputy Secretary to the Cabinet for Administration, Oliver Kalabo, says such support is particularly important for young people, women, rural workers, those in the informal economy, and others most affected by technological change. Dr. Kalabo was speaking during a plenary discussion on the reports of the chairperson of the governing body and the International Labour Organization Director General at the 114th session of the International Labour Conference in Geneva. He said Zambia is implementing reforms aimed at strengthening work-based learning, improving skills development frameworks, and aligning training programs with labour market demands. Dr. Kalabo said the reforms are intended to promote lifelong learning systems that equip workers with skills for both current and future employment opportunities. Meanwhile, he said Zambia must harness artificial intelligence to advance decent work and social justice in an era of rapid technological change. Dr. Kalabo has said artificial intelligence has the potential to improve productivity, strengthen public services, promote innovation, and support economic growth when used responsibly. He said Zambia will continue working closely with the International Labour Organization and other stakeholders to ensure that labour market reforms create meaningful opportunities and improve conditions for workers across the country. Indeed, what an interesting story.
Yes,
Where they're thinking of including technology. I think we can't run away from artificial intelligence because, you know, you have your phone. Even when you're typing, you'll notice that as you're typing, it's like the phone is already thinking for you. And sometimes you have that thought, oh, let me put there, let me put that, and already it brings out those options, that there, and you just type it right there and then. And I think it's a call for us to embrace artificial intelligence. Of course, not to overuse it, to use it responsibly, like Dr. Kalabo said, using it responsibly, not anyhow, and not using it to bully people, not using it to be malicious, but just to use it for productivity.
Yeah, that's true. It will really help us, because he mentioned that artificial intelligence actually will help us to improve our productivity and also strengthen our public service and also promote innovation and support economic growth when used responsibly.
Exactly.
This is truly wonderful. When we actually take advantage of AI, it will actually improve our productivity. We move on to the next news buzzing is that the Drug Enforcement Commission, DEC, has announced the arrest of 3 individuals and the seizure of various illicit substances, including pethidine, cocaine, and 135 kilograms of cannabis, following intelligence-led operations in Lusaka and the Eastern Province. In Lusaka, Harriet Tembo, a 48-year-old resident of Kawata Estate, was arrested in the Central Business District for trafficking 158 ampoules of pethidine, a controlled opioid. Authorities apprehended Tembo with 38 ampoules initially and discovered an additional 120 during a follow-up search of her residence. In a separate Lusaka-based operation, a 23-year-old Kasongo Kasenga of Kawata Flat was taken into custody for trafficking 7 logs of crack cocaine, following intelligence reports linking him to the illicit drug trade. Simultaneously, in the Eastern Province, DEC officers arrested 59-year-old Jesper Chiwa of Chipiola compound in Lundazi for trafficking 135 kilograms of cannabis. The drugs were found concealed in 2 separate locations within the suspect's home, with 90 kilograms hidden in a bedroom and 45 kilograms in a plastic sack. Preliminary investigation suggests that Chiwa, who had been on the commission watch list, was sourcing the cannabis from Malawi for distribution across Lundazi and other regions of Zambia. The DEC has confirmed that all 3 suspects are currently in lawful custody and are scheduled to appeal in court. The commission issued a stern warning to those involved in drug trafficking, reaffirming that they will continue to utilize intelligence-led operation to pursue offenders and maintain public safety.
Wow. You know, I don't know, drug offenses are becoming more and more common in Zambia, and I think it's a huge concern from government, and in fact all of us, because of course we as the citizens are the biggest stakeholders in this, because it's affecting our kids, it's affecting adults, it's just affecting everyone, and we don't want a situation where Zambia becomes a hub for drug trafficking. And in fact the authorities are doing everything that they can just to stamp out this problem, because these illicit drugs just destroy lives. So many potential young people have lost their lives just because of these drug addictions, because of illicit drugs.
Yeah, it's really bad. You're seeing especially these people actually trafficking drug, and we see that we are importing from Malawi and distributing across Lundazi and other regions of Zambia. This is very bad, and which means they were able to, I don't know if they were bypassing the border, whichever means they were using is very
porous borders.
Yes.
Sure. We move on to our next story. Over 1,800 children who previously lived and worked on the streets have been reunited with their families and communities this year. Ministry of Community Development and Social Services Permanent Secretary Angela Kawandami said the government is committed to giving vulnerable children a fresh start through rehabilitation. Ms. Kawandami said since 2021, nearly 7,000 street-connected children have moved from street life into safer and more stable environments. Lizzie Piri, a former street-connected child and beneficiary of the program, expressed gratitude to the government for the opportunity to rebuild her life. Indeed, what an amazing story there. Indeed, helping street children reconnect and get back into normal life, and so that they can become good citizens and help build our Zambian society. This is an excellent move.
Yeah, this is an excellent move. Yes, maybe just a quick question to the viewers who are watching us out. What role should communities play in helping vulnerable children stay off the street?
And I think when we look at it, community support programs, remember, as Africans and as Zambians, we are a communal people, and we are not actually supposed to have this scourge of street children. We are a communal people, and there are also disheartening stories of some of these street children actually having aunties and uncles, and then you wonder what happened. How did they end up on the streets? And you end up finding out that they actually have a well-to-do uncle, even though their parents died, even though they are double orphans. But then there's an auntie, there's an uncle even living comfortably, and you're just wondering what has happened to our culture, what has happened to our communal culture. And of course these community support programs help, but then we also need to rebuild our families again, because it sometimes, in fact, it just doesn't make sense.
Also skill training, especially also training the street kids, like we have seen that they are actually doing a rehabilitation for them, so skills training will also help a lot. And also the churches can come in, and also the NGO support to
definitely. And speaking of the church, in fact, this is the church's mandate to rise up to the occasion, to rise up to the challenge, and provide support to street children, provide support to vulnerable children, and make a difference out there. Preaching the word is very important, but everyone needs to come on board. And in fact, maybe the members of the church who maybe are well-to-do, not even that well-to-do, but just coming out there and just volunteering support, like maybe volunteering at a skills training center, and maybe the church working in collaboration with the church, opening up skills training centers and mentoring these young girls and young boys, and just going hands-on and helping them reform, helping them get back to a normal life. Yes, the church and NGOs are doing the best that they can, and I think more can even be done, and more solutions can be found.
Yeah, what you have said is very much true. We move on to let's check on the weather update for today. We see that the meteorological department watches El Nino development. The government says it has begun monitoring a forecast El Nino condition expected during the 2026 to 2027 rain season, following projection by the World Meteorological Organization. The move comes amid global reports pointing to the possibility of a severe El Nino that could influence weather patterns in various parts of the world. Meteorological Department Director Edison Konde says the Department of Meteorological is closely tracking weather development linked to the phenomenon. Mr. Nkonde said that the weather forecasts play a key role in shaping Zambia's seasonal outlook. He said a comprehensive seasonal forecast is expected to be released in August and will provide a clear indication of the whether the projected El Nino conditions are likely to affect Zambia. Mr. Nkonde said that the Meteorological Department has put measures in place to ensure the public receives timely weather update and information as monitoring continues.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, and this El Nino thing is just something else. I think remember the 2023 2024 season, because apparently when there's an El Nino effect here in Southern Africa, Zambia and other parts of Southern Africa, it means normally below normal rainfall. We usually have droughts during an El Nino, but you find East Africa will be having floods. Then the west coast of the USA, especially the southwest California and the like, will be experiencing floods. It's like there's an interchange. This El Nino, La Nina, because it's to do with the movement of currents in the Pacific Ocean, but it actually affects the whole world. And unfortunately, they're saying we're heading into an El Nino phase, which means, of course, below normal rainfall for us in Zambia and the rest of Southern Africa. So there needs to be a lot of preparation.
Yes, a lot. They need to be a lot of preparation. Viewers who are watching us, please, you can comment in the section by telling us, actually, as we are looking at the law of good nutrition today, tell us what you love having for lunch. Tell us what you love having for breakfast. Would love actually to hear from you in the comment section so that we can lead and be able to have a better conversation. So we want your views, we want your comment. You can call in, you can phone in, and we'll be able to hear from you. We want a feedback from you.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, and when we talk about good nutrition, it's not just a by the way topic, and we ask, why is it so important? And of course we look at things like having strong immunity. If we are not taking care of our bodies, if we are not eating right, what happens to our immunity even when there are global pandemics? Remember there was COVID and other global pandemics. Now what happens to our immune system?
Yes, it becomes weak. Yes, so it's good nutrition helps us especially to build strong immunity and also improve concentrations. Yes, you will have a lot of concentration because as a result you have got nutrition in your body, and also it helps support growth and also prevent diseases. Yes, it also helps us to prevent some diseases that we can get, and also promote mental well-being.
Exactly. You know, actually we fail to realize that our mental health is important, and it's also linked to our diets. When we are always snacking, when we are always taking sugary drinks, sometimes even at night, it affects our mental health because the brain actually gets affected. Because when we are eating nutritious foods, the brain actually responds very well. We become more alert, we become more active, simply because of of what we are putting in our bodies, because of of the nutrients we are putting in our bodies. We forget to realize, and we need to realize that our brain also needs a lot of nutrients.
Yes, it needs a lot of nutrients, our brain. Yes, at this moment, we would love to take a short break, even as we'll be joined by the Green Cosmos organization, even as they will be shedding more light on waste management. Yes, please stay tuned, even as we'll be joined by them.
for a place where your children can grow in faith, make new friends, and have fun every week? Then join us for Sunday School. Every Sunday, our classrooms come alive with interactive Bible lessons, engaging activities, songs, and hands-on learning designed to help kids understand God's love in a real and joyful way. Whether your child is a curious preschooler, an energetic elementary student, or a thoughtful teen, there is a class just for them. Our caring teachers are dedicated to creating a safe, welcoming environment where every child can discover their purpose and build a strong foundation in Christ. So come be a part of the community that grows together, learns together, and celebrates Jesus together. Get ready for the most anticipated talk show of the year.
Let's talk about it with Pastor Pauline. So we have been discussing foundations upon which most of the relationships are built.
Join us as we tackle the toughest social issues affecting our community, from child marriages to youth empowerment, and from gender-based violence to women empowerment, from governance to corruption, and, of course, women participation in politics, and other male-dominated industries. We will be discussing it all.
Leah, confessed it in Genesis chapter 29, verse 32. She says, God has opened my womb because he has seen my affliction. But despite that, Jacob did not love her.
Our presenter will guide the conversation, ensuring that you have a respectful and thought-provoking discussion. And you have a chance to join in on the conversation through our phone-in segment. Call us live, share your thoughts, and ask your questions. Don't miss out on this opportunity to be part of the conversation. Let's talk about it. Every Wednesday at 1 p.m. on CBC TV. Don't miss.
Thank you so much for tuning in. You're watching Teen Diaries.
Yeah, today let's get loud about something. About bullying. We deal with this on social media, in schools, and in our workplaces.
Take me deeper than my feet could ever.
Could you share your story in a circumstance where you will find yourself being bullied?
I was able to respond. I mean, you don't have to agree. Someone talks to you like, hey, you're too skinny, you're too fat. You don't need to agree with that situation.
So did you ever reach out to any of the supervisors in school, your principal? Did you ever reach out to anyone?
After like 1.5 years of doing that, my friend was like, this is too much, just stand your ground, tell them off.
It's like, don't always listen to what people say, because some people are just always so negative. Like, look at yourself, you're beautiful in the mirror. And I always used to go to my mirror and tell myself, no, I'm beautiful.
Teen Diaries, my heart unfolds. Pages of fire, anything goes. Laughing, crying, stars I hold. Teen Diaries, my soul is told.
Looking for a school that nurtures excellence, builds character, and inspires greatness? Well, look no further. Welcome to Christ Life School, where bright futures begin and dreams take flight. My name is Teacher Helen, and join me as I take you through why enrolling your child at Christ Life School is the best decision you can ever make as a parent. At Christ Life School, we believe that a great learning journey begins with the right environment. Our school provides a safe, clean, and peaceful atmosphere where every child feels valued, confident, and ready to succeed. It's more than just a school. It's a place where children feel at home, a great environment for a brighter tomorrow. Knowledge is power, and our well-stocked library is the heartbeat of academic excellence. With a wide variety of books, learners are encouraged to read, explore, and expand their minds beyond the classroom. Read more, discover more, become more. At Christ Life School, we don't just teach technology. Oh yes, we don't just teach technology. We put it directly into the hands of our learners. Every child has access to a computer, ensuring that no one is left behind in this fast-moving digital world. From basic skills to advanced learning, each learner gets hands-on experience that builds confidence, creativity, and innovation. One child, one computer, unlimited possibilities. And when it comes to science, we take learning beyond the textbook. Yes, we take learning outside the textbook. Our fully functional laboratories are designed to bring ideas to life through the experiments and discoveries aligned with the competence-based curriculum. Our labs promote critical thinking, problem solving, as well as practical skills that learners can use in the real lifetime. Here, learners don't just memorize, they explore, create, and innovate. Think it, test it, prove it. That's the Christ Life way. Yes, that's indeed the Christ Life way. What's school without a splash of fun? Our swimming pool provides learners with an exciting opportunity to develop swimming skills in a safe and supervised environment. Dive into excellence, swim into success, where learners develop physically, socially, and emotionally. From football athletics, every child is given the chance to shine. Strong bodies, sharp minds, winning spirits. Our spacious classrooms are designed for comfort and effective learning. With enough room for interactions and creativity, our learners stay focused, engaged, and ready to achieve their best. Comfort meets concentration for excellence. At Christ Life School, we understand that learning requires energy. Yes, learning does require energy. That's why we provide nutritious and well-balanced meals to keep our learners healthy, active, and ready to learn. Healthy meals, healthy minds, bright futures. At Christ Life School, we don't just educate. We inspire, nurture, and prepare learners for a successful future, build confidence, unlock potential, and shape tomorrow's leaders. Christ Life School, where excellence meets purpose. Yes, I'll say that again. Christ Life School, where excellence meets purpose. Enroll today and give your child the gift of quality education, innovation, and success. As our motto goes, Christ Life School, hard work and excellence.
Okay, can start.
Good morning and welcome back to the Light TV Breakfast Show with your co-host George Sompola, and we continue with those to set the ball rolling. And in our interviews section today, we are discussing an inspiring initiative that is transforming lives and changing perceptions about waste. Many people see waste as something to throw away, but our guest believes that waste is not rubbish but wealth if well managed. Recently, over 65 participants graduated from the Waste to Wealth training program organized by Green Cosmos and Act Bambamo. The participants were trained in innovative ways of turning waste into valuable products while creating income opportunities and protecting the environment. Joining us in the studio is Miss Pamela Mateo. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having us.
Okay, wonderful. Kindly tell us about yourself. Kindly tell us more about the representatives from the Green Cosmos organization and what work you do and the trainings that you offer.
Okay, so my name's Pamela Mateo. Like you've mentioned, I'm a representative from Green Cosmos. I'm one of the trainers under one of the projects that we are running. So Green Cosmos is a youth-led organization that is focused on climate action initiatives. We have participated in a number of community-based initiatives that are around environmental sustainability and climate action. And currently we are running a project called Waste to Wealth, where we train a number of youths on different initiatives around waste management.
Okay, wonderful. So what inspired the creation of the Waste to Wealth project?
So at Green Cosmos, I think we believe in keeping our environments clean. We believe in sustaining our environment. We believe in acting against climate change. And because of that passion and because of that belief, we were able to start this project so that we are then able to empower youths, the many youths in the communities and women, to join us on this fight against climate change and be able to preserve our environment.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So what does the statement, waste is not rubbish but wealth, what does this statement mean to you? Or like people would also want to know, like, what does it really mean, waste to wealth?
Yeah, okay. So the statement waste is waste to wealth is basically, it's supposed to be a statement that is self-explanatory, in the sense that when we talk about how we turn waste into valuable products, the idea is to be able to teach people that when you look at wealth in the streets, at home, wherever you are not supposed to see waste as something that you can't do anything with. But the idea is you look at wealth and you should be able to see the many other ideas that you can turn it into some valuable products that can then give you some income and generate some wealth.
Wonderful, wonderful. So why is conservation important here in Zambia, even in your own words? Why do you feel it is so important?
For a lot of different reasons. Some are obvious, others you need to go into deeper conversations. But the most obvious ones, the environment pretty much sustains us. When it's healthy, we are healthy. We get our food from the environment, we get medicine from the environment, we get fresh air from the environment. Pretty much our livelihood as human beings depends on the health of the environment. So being able to preserve it is one of the sure ways of making sure that even our health is taken care of. So that is why at Green Cosmos we're very passionate about preserving the environment and making sure it's sustained, so that it's not just catering to our needs as people in present day, but we're also looking at the future generation so that they are able to benefit from the environment. That's why we need to preserve it.
Yeah, exactly. So what environmental challenges are you trying to address through this project?
Okay. So one of the major environmental challenges that we are trying to, but we are confident we are tackling with this project is waste management. And when you talk about waste management, especially in a place like Lusaka, the number of challenges that it brings about, you'd agree with me, every year when the rain starts, there's always conversations around cholera, there's always problems around cholera.
Exactly.
And one of the major contributors to that is because waste is not well managed, especially in Lusaka and many other places around the country. So our goal is to be able to manage the waste so that then it also cuts off some of the challenges like the cholera and also other challenges where we have plastic that is thrown into the soil. But then plastic does not, it's not it doesn't go away. To put it in simpler terms, plastic never goes away when you put it in
Exactly.
the soil. But then we depend on the soil for so many other things. Some of the plastic goes into the rivers, and then even just basic farmers. You want to plant your crops, your trees, but then when there's plastic in there, it produces a different challenge of your crops not growing well. So those are just a few environmental challenges that I can mention that we are fighting against with this project.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So tell us about the West to Wealth training program, which just recently concluded.
Okay, great. So the West to Wealth project started about a year ago. And since then, we have conducted 3 trainings, where in each training we accept about 70 to 100 participants. So we basically advertise, and when youths or whoever is interested, really, we've not just had youths, there's an age range around it, although the main focus is the youth. They apply, and when we accept them, we do the trainings, and in each training, like I mentioned, we cater around 70 to 100 participants. The goal of the project is to train youths on how they can turn different types of waste into different types of products.
Okay, wonderful. So how many young people specifically benefited in this program? How many were trained, and what was the selection process, if any?
Okay, all right. So like I mentioned, in each training, the goal is to train about 100 people, 100 participants. So in the previous training, which just ended last week, Thursday, we had about 55 participants who graduated, although we had about 10 that never made it to the end, but they were in the process. Maybe 1 or 2 challenges made them not reach the end. But the goal is to enroll around 70 to 100 participants.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. And speaking of skills training, like what skills did the participants learn, and even in a 1 week period, what skills did they learn? Was it maybe communication? Apart from that, yes, we can add that, but what other skills did they learn?
Okay, so the structure of our training program or our training sessions, we believe in not just giving them the theoretical part of understanding waste management, but also imparting in them practical skills that they can then take to the communities, because we can only train so many people. If it was up to us, we would do the whole community, or everybody in the community. But that is a bigger challenge. So as we are training a few in our sessions, the goal is for them to be able to gain skills that they can take to the communities. Yes, for themselves to make some income, but also to take to the communities. So the structure is we train them in different initiatives. One of the initiatives we trained them in the previous training was on how to make pavers using plastic. We also trained them on how to make charcoal briquettes. And then we also train them on simple, so we also want to make them, we want to range the initiatives from what may seem complicated to what is just simple that you can do at home. So on that, one of the seemingly simple initiatives was on how to do a drip irrigation at home for simple gardens where you can grow your vegetables. You don't have to need a lot of water. You don't have to be so engaged into the gardening in case you have work to get to. So the simple initiative, the drip irrigation at home, uses normal plastic bottles that you throw away at home. You can use them in your garden.
Wow. And
they are doing the job for you as you are at work or attending to other things. There's also training on how to make organic fertilizer. We also have simple, like I mentioned, simple initiatives like how to make bins using plastic bottles that you can then use in community shops, in community locations, in community markets. And that is essentially going to then raise awareness even to everybody, even like in markets, to say, look, you can use your bottles to make a bin so that you then collect your waste properly.
Wow, amazing, great stuff, amazing work that you're doing, really inspiring, and I'm sure the viewers are really amazed. You know, drip irrigation, you know, you're cutting out waste in terms of irrigating your garden, because of course back in the day we just get the hose pipe, maybe it's leaking,
Yes.
water is being wasted, and actually bills are accumulating. And I think that's amazing. I've really been inspired by the drip irrigation system and also the pavers. So what does it mean to be certified as an environment champion? What does this mean to you?
Okay. So in doing our work, we partner with other players, important players in the space of environmental sustainability and preservation. So being able to work with people like the Ministry of Green Economy, for example, and when we do the trainings and we give you the certificate, we are basically saying, look, you can be trusted. You can go out there and you tell people that you've worked with us, we have trained you. You are pretty much carrying our voice with you and our identity with you. And so also based on that, we also would like that when we train you, you please go and represent us well. And so we also then strive to make sure that our trainings are something that when someone says, I was trained by Green Cosmos, we are proud of that. So basically the certificate is a way in which the participants will be able to go into the communities, will be able to go into the country really, or the world, to be able to say, I was trained by Green Cosmos and I can do this. I understand what waste management is.
Okay, wonderful. So what was the general response of the participants? How were they feeling about it? Like those who've been trained, how have they been feeling about it?
The responses are quite overwhelming. They are quite encouraging, I must say. When we, like I mentioned, we've done 3 trainings so far. From our first training up to now, we keep getting more encouraged and more energy from them. We're able to see the impact it's having on them and just how far our trainings are going to go. And so that for us is what is driving us to keep doing more and more. And we're looking forward to being able to spread across the country, to be able to do these trainings in other places as well, and be able to train hopefully more people so that it's not just 100 per training, it's a lot more.
Wonderful. Were there any success stories during this training? Maybe you could shed more light on that.
Yes. So on Friday there was the World Environment Day, where we were able to participate and actually exhibit. So on our table, we were able to showcase the products of the initiatives that we trained them on, but also we are able to exhibit the initiatives or the products that the previous participants made right during the trainings. So they made decorative things from waste. We were able to display the plastic pavers, we were able to display the fertilizer, and we were able to display the briquettes and a whole lot others. So being able to talk to the beneficiaries or the participants, they are success stories that we know they are being shared in the communities and across the country.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Now we understand that participants learned how to produce charcoal briquettes. How do these briquettes benefit the community? Okay,
so the understanding and the benefit, to answer the question simply, is what our core is to say, instead of using charcoal that requires so many trees to be cut down to produce a bag of charcoal, why not make briquettes that then last longer? So when you look at a briquette, it burns around 3 to 5 hours compared to normal charcoal. So that alone is a win for the environment, in the sense that if you are using a briquette compared to charcoal, you are going to, so on a mbaula, on a brazier,
Yes.
if you are using briquettes on it, you are going to take much longer to require refilling than if you are using charcoal. So that is the message with the briquettes. Use briquettes instead of charcoal, and so that you require less trees, and then there's less deforestation, and our environments benefit better that way.
Wonderful, wonderful. Excellent work there. Now, we also hear about converting plastics into crude oil, and this is actually mind-blowing and really interesting. Could you explain this process in simple terms?
I don't know how much simpler it can be, but just like, say, the plastic pavers, we pretty much work as a team to, convert normal plastic as you know it into crude oil. I don't know how much simpler it can be apart from that, because beyond that it's technical terms and technical
like fracking
processes.
and those processes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So which innovation has generated the most interest, especially among the young people?
Interesting. So like the crude oil one was quite interesting. The charcoal briquette was quite interesting because of how seemingly simple the process comes out. When you are actually in there participating, you realize this is actually something that anybody and everybody should be able to do, because it's quite a straightforward process. So the charcoal briquette one really caught the attention of the participants, I must say.
Wonderful, wonderful. And could you also share some of the projects participants that was showcased, like during the graduation, like was it the pavers? What was showcased the most there?
So at the show, at the World Environment Day celebration, we did have, we were able to showcase different products.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't just one, we were able to show. So what we asked the participants to do on Thursday was for them to come with having made something in the short period of time that they had. We asked them to make something that they should come with. So they came through with decorative stuff, some productive stuff, some fertilizer that one of the participants was able to make. And then also now the pavers and the briquettes that we made were able to show that as well. There was also, I must say, there was also somebody who came having made a jacket with some decorative stuff on it using plastic.
Wow.
So even sustainable fashion is
Exactly.
also something that can be done with plastic as well.
Yes, so apart from crude oil, because, this is amazing, this is mind-blowing and very innovative. I'm really amazed, and this is great work you're doing. The crude oil, the pavers, these are actually solutions to our country's economy, to our country's problems. These are actually serious solutions which can take us to the next level, and I'm really amazed, and I'm at a loss of words.
Yes.
Now, how do these innovations contribute to our economy, and how would you encourage the viewers to say that they can participate in a program like this?
Okay, so on how it contributes to the circular economy. So when you look at the circular economy, in the basic understanding of it, it's basically saying you make one thing, the lifespan of it gets back and supports itself in a way. So being able to do that with with waste, for example, if you're going to need materials to make a bucket, a plastic bucket, for example, and when the bucket gets, say, broken, you don't throw it away to get more materials to make another bucket. You use the same bucket, you do whatever process is necessary to make another bucket. So that recycling and reusing is in a way contributing to the circular economy, in the sense that you are not necessarily getting anything out of the system already. You are using the system to still support itself. That is in a simpler explanation of what the process looks like. Now, on a bigger scale, we are basically saying the same materials that were used for something can be used again when they reach a point where you think, oh, they are now waste, can be used again to make something else to generate income. And so we believe that our initiatives are contributing to that, because we are teaching youths and community members to use waste to be able to make other valuable products that then they sell to bring in income, and then the process goes on and on like that.
Okay, wonderful. So what opportunities exist for youth who turn to these innovations, like they turn this innovation into a business? So what opportunities exist for youth, and maybe not even just for youth, but even just for ordinary people?
Okay. So one of the opportunities we can think about is, like I mentioned, on what the phrase waste to wealth means. So there's income generation there. The fact that you are able to make valuable products using seemingly simple materials, you then have some income for yourself. And if you use an initiative that you're able to grow into a bigger business, that alone will be able to allow you or allow a participant to employ more people. So that is creating jobs for others as well. And then there is also an opportunity of being creative and being innovative. I think as youths of the country, it's very important that we are innovative. It's very crucial that we are creative, because we are the ones who are supposed to bring solutions to the table. We are the ones who are supposed to bring ideas to the table. So those are opportunities for us to showcase our creativity. We've had times in the trainings where people will start telling us how they understand things better and how they understand things differently. And in a way, we're also learning from the participants. So being able to work together as youths is also another opportunity, because then you're able to bring your ideas together and create even something bigger than what one person will be able to, to create. And also the other opportunity I can mention is the fact that through programs like our program, youths are able to come through and they're able to be introduced to global platforms and global communities, where then they can even understand bigger initiatives, bigger ideas. Say, for example, we are teaching them on charcoal briquettes. Through our interactions or through our network, they then meet somebody who is from a different country who can teach them on how another waste type can be used to make another product. And that alone is an opportunity that we are presenting to the youths through such trainings for us as Green Cosmos.
Wonderful. So can environmental entrepreneurship be sustainable?
Yes, we believe so. I mean, I think that is one of the core messages of our trainings. We should be able to sustain ourselves through what we have, but then also we need to be able to understand that when we're talking about environmental entrepreneurship, we're not just saying get business through environmental entrepreneurship. We're not just saying get business through environmental opportunities. We also want to be able to say, okay, you're doing business that's not harming the environment, but also the same environment is the one that is sustaining your business, to put it in a simpler term.
Okay, wonderful. What mindset change is needed among youth? What mindset change is needed regarding waste management?
Okay, that's a great question. So in the previous training, we had a saying that became quite popular. The saying that I've forgotten, I'll get back to it. But basically the message was the fact that you can't just look at waste and think, oh, it ends there. It's wealth. You should be able to look at waste and think, what else can I do with this? Surely it's not the end of it. You should be able to look at it and come up with ideas on what else you can do from that. And so the mindset really, especially amongst the youths, is one, be creative. Should be able to be creative. We want youths to be creative and be innovative. So even around waste management, we don't want them to just think, oh, the council hasn't come to collect the waste, or somebody hasn't recycled this. Let them be able to look at something and say, I should be the somebody who needs to make the change. I should be the somebody who needs to create something out of this waste. So that's one of the mindset that we are aiming to change amongst the youths. The other mindset is to be able to say, as youths, we are the ones who are going to be in the future, really. So we should be, it's upon ourselves to find solutions for the future that will be able to preserve the environment for us.
Okay, indeed. So how can communities support young innovators in the sector?
One of the ways to support is like what we are doing as Green Cosmos, being able to engage the youth and women in the communities and men, to be able to bring ideas to them, to be able to help them understand things differently from what is normal. So if there can be other organizations or other team players in the sector who can engage youths more, that would be a good way to support them. But also the other way to support them is when we teach them these initiatives and they make these initiatives and they make a business out of it, we are hoping that the communities that they then go and sell to or they engage to in the business will not look at them and think their products are not valuable. They should be able to look at the product and trust them and be able to then support the businesses, because that is the goal. The goal is to be able to enable youths to make businesses out of waste, and those businesses should then benefit the environment, yes, but also the communities as well. So if the communities are not willing to buy, for example, from a business, then it makes this whole training useless, for lack of a better term.
Okay, wonderful. So what role can schools, colleges, universities, different institutions, learning institutions, what role can they play in championing this cause?
Okay, so in our trainings, the majority of our participants are actually university students, which has been quite wonderful to work with. We do have different participants who are doing different programs. There's a good number of them that are doing environmental related programs already, but then we encourage that even those that are not doing environmentally related programs can come through and still learn, because what we teach is not all academic stuff that you need an environmental background to understand. Anybody can come through. So the roles that the schools and the universities can play is being able to enable people or students that want to learn these to be able to have an opportunity to learn. So for example, in high schools, we can encourage the formulation of environmental clubs, or I don't know what term that can be used, but basically clubs that talk about environmental protection, environmental sustainability, so that if somebody is in a class that does not have geography or does not have any subject to do with environmental lessons, they can then go to the club and be able to still learn about environmental preservation. And that goes to universities as well. We should be able to have platforms, if it's debates, if it's clubs, if it's awareness campaigns, whatever it is that the institutions can encourage and enable, so that those that do not have the opportunities to learn about environmental lessons in a classroom or in a curriculum somewhere, they then still have an opportunity to learn. So like I mentioned also as Green Cosmos, we encourage that it doesn't matter what background you have, you can still apply, you can still come through, and we'll be able to engage you, and because we want everybody to know about environmental sustainability and learn.
Yeah, definitely. So have any participants already started businesses after receiving this training?
Right now, we have some that are in the works, but we don't have, we can't share the specific details yet. But we do have some that we are working with that have been able to start up something.
Okay, wonderful. And what advice would you give to a young person who wants to venture into green entrepreneurship?
Start now. Start now. It's never too late. It's never too early. You are never too early to start. I think the earlier the better. We all have a role to play in protecting our environment in one or another, and if your way of protecting the environment and participating in environmental sustainability and conservation is to start a business, why not? You never know who you're encouraging in the communities. You never know which other young people you are going to influence. So if you're able to start now, in this day and age of technology and social media, it's not just business. It can also be a social media presence. It can be a social media account where you talk about environmental topics really. Like I mentioned, you don't need to be an expert, but if you have the platform, you can engage experts to then be able to educate the communities. So everybody has a role to play. If you want to start a business, start now. If you want to start awareness conversations, start now. If you want to start a personal journey of harming the environment less, maybe by managing your waste better at home, start now. Everybody should start now, actually.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So how important was support from the Actu Urbano, the Zambia National Service, the Ministry of Green Economy, and the Prudence B2B? So how important was this support?
We would not be able to do the work we do without the support of our partners. We do appreciate the support that we get from the government through the Ministry of Green Economy. We do appreciate the support we get from Active Urbano and Prudence B2B. We have the energy, we have the resource, we have the ideas, but without our partners, it is a huge challenge for us to implement our ideas. So we appreciate also, like you said, the ZNS, to be able to support us on days like Friday, where we needed to move our participants to go to the celebration of the World Environment Day. That was huge support that we appreciate. And also support from Actu Urbano is the reason why we are able to train these youths. And being able to engage with Ministry of Green Economy has given us platforms that we wouldn't do without. I mean, I would imagine that's why we are here.
Exactly,
yes. So we do appreciate the support. We also appreciate support from people like you who give us the platform to be able to amplify our voice on climate action.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. And how can government and private companies and communities as a whole work together in environmental sustainability?
So at Green Cosmos, we are very strong on believing that this is not just a fight for the youth, it's not just a fight for the government, it's not just a fight for people who are affected by floods or droughts, it's a fight for everybody. Today you may not be affected by the floods, you may not be affected by droughts or whatever climate effects that they may be, but you never know what will come your way tomorrow, and you never know who of your loved ones would be affected another time. So it really is important that everybody comes on board and works together. So the government, the private sector, the NGO, and even the startups, businesses as well, they can come on board, be able to provide people with ideas. Yes, you can be a business, you want to benefit from it, but let your business ideas also benefit the environment so that it doesn't harm the environment to cause more problems for the community. So everybody really needs to work together. It's very important.
Exactly. Wonderful, wonderful. So what impact do you hope this project will have in Lusaka and across Zambia?
Our goal and our mission is to be able to see youths do what we are teaching them to do in the communities. We are looking forward to working with some of the youths. They can come back and be able to work with us to teach. We have one of the volunteers at the moment is a participant from the first training. She was able to give a talk to our recent participants on what the benefits of this program is. And so that's basically what we are hoping for, and that's what our vision is really, to be able to see more youths being trained. And we are also looking forward to being able to do these trainings in not just Lusaka but in other parts of the country as well. We want to be able to contribute to the conversation of ending problems like cholera, ending problems like drainage blockages in the city. We want to be able to contribute to a cleaner city as well, and not just that, but also contribute with products on the market that we'll be able to say they are environmentally friendly.
Okay, wonderful. Now we understand phase 2 is coming soon. What can participants expect?
So for phase 2, we are looking to go bigger. We are looking to go more innovative. We are hoping to, we are planning to engage more youths and teach them much more impactful initiatives and more hands-on initiatives that, like I mentioned, that are not just simple, but they are doable. They shouldn't feel like, oh, we are teaching them things that they can't go and do in the communities. It should just end in the trainings. So we are looking to go bigger and also expand into other other places besides Lusaka.
Okay, wonderful. So finally, who can apply for this program? Who is it for everyone? Maybe not just for youths, like maybe even elderly people. Can they also apply?
Yes, of course. We don't have an age limit. You come on board. You're a pupil. Please apply. We will be happy to have you. You are unemployed. Come on board. You are employed. Come on board. You are older. I know I have emphasized a lot on youths, but we have had participants who are in their 50s and in their 60s, if I remember correctly, that have participated in the trainings. We have been very happy to have them. We are looking forward to having all types of ages. We've had elderly women from the communities. So right now, Green Cosmos is based in Kaunda Square. So we've had elderly women of the Kaunda Square community being part of our trainings. And we are happy with that because we also understand that some of the players in this waste management, like you would agree with me, I'm sure you see them on the streets, the one that are always picking bottles in sacks and going to resell them. Those are elderly people. We want them to come on board because we want them to understand what the recycling process really looks like. We want them to understand the important role that they are playing in managing waste in Lusaka. We understand that right now, most of them just look at it as an income-generating venture, but we also want them to understand the environmental benefits of what they are doing. And we want to impart them with a bit more knowledge of beyond what they are doing on collecting and giving to recycling companies. But what else can they do with those bottles at home? What else can they do with those, with the waste that they are collecting in the streets, in their homes? Instead of taking them to recycling companies alone, they can do so much more with it at home. So anybody and everybody should be able to participate. We just need you to be interested and be passionate, and yeah, we are your people.
Okay, wonderful. So do you have forms which people fill in, or can they come to the offices? Where are the offices exactly? Okay,
so our offices are in Kaunda Square. Next to a church called Pentecost Holiness in Kaunda Square. On how they can participate in the program. So what we do is when we're ready to do the next training, we put out a call for participation. So then people apply, and when they apply, we do the selection process and we inform them, and then the training start. So those who are interested in participating, be on the lookout for the call to apply. And you can find this information on all our platforms. We have a platform on Facebook, we have a platform on Instagram, we have a platform on LinkedIn, as well as TikTok. So any of those pages, you just be a part of our community and look out for the next advert.
Okay,
which we are looking forward to.
Definitely.
Yes.
Thank you so much for participating on the Light TV Breakfast Show. Personally, I'm really encouraged and I'm really thrilled. Amazing innovations, drip irrigation from water bottles, yes. crude oil pavers. This is something which we just need to embrace, and I'm really grateful that you joined us for the Light TV Breakfast Show just to showcase what you do.
Thank you so much for having us. We do appreciate the support from platforms like yours.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So there you have it, dear viewer. Indeed, what an amazing program. Indeed, we can turn waste into wealth. We can be innovative and not just throw things around. That's why programs like this are very important and can help, in fact, will help our economy blossom and do very well even as the decades come. There is artificial intelligence. There are programs like this, and indeed, we as a nation can benefit so much from programs like this. So today, dear viewer, we've looked at the role of nutrition, and we just encourage you to eat healthy and live healthy. So dear viewer, please join us tomorrow. You've been with your host George Sompola and your co-host Shepard. Indeed, it has been an amazing journey. So please join us tomorrow for another interesting edition of the Light TV Breakfast Show. Enjoy the rest of our programming.